What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How fantastic clap. The other day I'm having a conversation with my nephew. He's new into firearms, just bought his first AR-15, and we're going through brands and accessories and do's and don'ts and so many different things. And I thought to myself, there's always a lot of new gun owners. Maybe I should make a video to help some of these new gun owners navigate what accessories do I need, what do I don't need, etc., etc. So I figured I'd make a video with at least the top 10 items. You just bought an AR-15, you're heading home, what are the top 10 things you need? And I want to keep it more budget minded. I think most first-time gun owners aren't going to spend $500, $600, $700, $800 on an optic or something, so I'm going to try to keep it $100 and less. If you are an experienced gun owner, been a gun owner for a while, this may not be the most informative video for you. You can still like and subscribe. You can still check the links down in the video description if you want to get more information and all that stuff, but it's really geared to someone who is new into at least long guns, if not guns in general. Now, the first couple things on the list, in my opinion, are absolutely necessities, and as you go down, they become less and less and less of a necessity and more of a nice have. Let's get into it. The first thing I put on the list is sights. Okay, there are some guns like this Chris Vector here that come with a very nice set of sights. These are plastic sights, but they're fully adjustable. They come with a great set of plastic sights. This is a Palmetto State Armory Crank, a little baby AK. Most AKs are going to come with some set of iron sights, but a lot of AR-15s do not. You can be surprisingly accurate shooting without iron sights, but I do not recommend that whatsoever. You're going to need some sort of sights. Like everything, if you're going to use something for self-defense, don't skimp. Get a decent set of iron sights. For example, at the time I'm making this video, you can get a set of plastic Magpul sights that are very good for $80. Don't get the $20 set of sights on Amazon. At least get the Magpul ones. They are fantastic. Even better than that, if you want to get the Magpul steel sights, those right now, at the time I'm making the video, are around $170. Those are a little bit better, but you're definitely going to need some sort of sighting system. Second on the list is going to be some sort of an optic. A little bit better than a sight, than iron sights, is going to be some sort of an optic. Now, a lot of the red dots out there under $100 are kind of going to be junk. Now, you can pick up a Crimson Trace for under 100, or you can pick up a Sight Mark for under 100 easily, but they're not going to be the best. If you're willing and able to go a little bit north of $100, you can get yourself something pretty darn nice like this Vortex optics. I love Vortex. Around that same $1.50 price, I've seen Holosun optics, and Holosun red dots are solid. SIG, Gideon, there's lots of good options if you're willing and able to go a little bit higher. Now, if you keep an eye out, you can find brands like a Vortex or a SIG or something on sale for around the $100 if you're not in a rush. So I think most first-time gun owners are gonna go to a red dot because they're very easy. You put the dot on what you wanna hit and you shoot. As long as you're within, like, call it 200 yards or so, you're probably gonna hit that target, and it's just very easy. Two other quick options. You can do a prism optic. Now again, you're going a jump up in price, but typically it's also a jump up in durability. Most prism optics are very durable. Another nice thing about a prism is the reticle, the thing you're using to aim, whether it be a dot or a chevron in here, is etched into the glass. So even if your battery dies, you can still use this. With a red dot, if your battery dies, you're not really using the red dot anymore. Prism optic works even when the battery dies. The eye relief on it is not quite as good as a red dot, but it's still very respectable. The third option is some sort of a low power variable optic. And again, typically you're gonna go up a little bit in price here, but if you want something magnified, this is one option. Now, low power variable optics for new shooters can be a little bit tougher than a red dot. You gotta figure out that perfect distance away from the optic, and that takes a little bit more training and a little bit more playing around. Most people can be fine with a red dot, and you could always do a red dot with an additional magnifier if you want to shoot out further. I love that combo. But if you want to shoot out a little further, there's lots of good quality, budget-friendly, low-power variable optics. Gideon, this is a Gideon Optics. The code for Gideon is up here on the screen. This is a 1 to 10 magnification, so you can adjust it from 1 to 10. Vortex Optics, again, makes awesome budget-friendly, low-power variable optics. SIG has some good ones out there. Gideon, Swamp Fox, those are probably the brands that come to mind as far as good quality but budget friendly. The next one on the list is the most important one on the list, in my humble opinion. Before I get into that though, I want to quickly ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you think I deserve it, click that button. It's truly helpful. I'm trying to grow this to at least 100,000 subs, and I got a long way to go. So if you think I deserve it, click the button. Now, what I think is the most important thing is quality training, and I emphasize quality training. It's not like you pick up a gun and all of a sudden you're John Wick. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Quality training is not going to an indoor range or even an outdoor range and just mag dumping and playing around with your friends. In the beginning, it's fun. You can do that, but training is at bare minimum going to the range with a specific set of drills to work on a specific set of skills. Now, training classes with a quality instructor is a great thing, but that can get very expensive. An all-day training class is $200 to $500, depending who you're training with, and then traveling and ammo and all that stuff. It can be very expensive. What a couple of my local buddies have done here in where I live is great. There's a group of guys called High Table Outfitters, and they sell a bunch of stuff as well if you want to check them out. But years ago, they started going to the range every other week, and they said, this is the skill we want to work on. They would look up specific drills to work on that skill, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 of, used to be us, more them now, would go to the range and practice those drills and give each other feedback on how they can get better. And the one thing I want to give them credit for, when we first started doing this, I was one of the better shooters in that group. I was never the best, but I was one of the better shooters in that group. Now when I shoot with them, I am one of the worst shooters in that group. So over the years, they have done purposeful training where I just go to the range to test something, and I've watched all of their skills go up where mine has gone up at a much slower rate. Next up is a simple one. It's ammunition, and I put it on the list because 1, you can't do that training without the ammunition, and 2, I recommend you have a few magazines preloaded at the house with some ammo ready to go. God forbid this is an emergency, you're using this for self-defense, have a few mags ready to go. At bare minimum 3 is what I recommend. When I first got into AR-15s, I did find the whole ammo 5.56, 223 a little confusing. 5.56 is higher pressure than 223. That's the biggest difference between the two of them. And ammo prices range drastically different, not only in the quality and the brand, and but also over time. If you look at the exact same ammo a month from now, a year from now, whatever, the price is going to change drastically. So as of right now, this moment, basic set of ammo, I don't know what brand this is, Winchester I believe, just basic, good quality range ammo. This is going to be between 45 and 50 cents per round. Now that is if you buy a whole case, and the case is way over $100. The case is going to be like $400 to $500, closer to the 5 range if you buy an entire case. Case is 1,000 rounds. If you want a much smaller quantity, you can easily order that online. Typically your gun stores are going to be more expensive. If you want to support your local guys, that's fantastic. But online right now, at the time I'm making this video, if you want a smaller quantity, they're going to be more 55 to 60-ish cents per round, so you'll pay more. So if you just want $100 or so, that's fine. If you want to spend a little more and stockpile it away, if you have those funds, you can do it as well. But get enough ammo to do some training, and more importantly, have enough at home to for security in case you need it for self-defense. Before we talk about the 5th things on the list, I want to quickly, very quickly thank Brownells. Brownells has been one of the best supporters of my channel, so I'd like to thank them all of the time. They have given me a discount code to pass on to you boys and girls. So if you spend at least $150 at Brownells, it saves you 10%, I think, and I believe the code is Tiberious as well. I really need to be more prepared for these, but the code is up here on the screen if you want to save yourself a few bucks. Now, let's get into number 5. Next up is going to be some sort of magazines. Now you need somewhere to put that ammo to shoot. You're gonna need some magazines of some sort. Most AR-15s come with 1, maybe 2 magazines. At bare minimum, I recommend you have at least 3. 5's better, 10's even better, 20, 100. You can always start with at least 3 and work your way up. But the more magazines you have, the better. Just start stockpiling magazines and ammo in my opinion. The gold standard for magazines is going to be Magpul. The PMags have been out forever. They're used by every police, military, and civilian around the world. They're super durable. They're super affordable. Made in the States, plastic. Easily get them sub 20 bucks. And places like Brownells and Palmetto State Armory will always sell like 3, 5, 10 packs, whatever, and you save even more money. I've used Mission First Tactical. I said that right. Magazines a ton. Code for them is TG20, saves you 20%. I've used their Extreme Duty magazines a lot. I've used their basic magazines, and I have these really cool, colorful magazines. I have like clear and black and purple and red and orange, blue, whatever. If you want a little fanciness and flair on the range, I've been testing them for over a year exclusively, and they have been fantastic. Duramag makes great metal magazines. The Clear Lancer mags are pretty good. And then I want to call out the Daniel Defense plastic mags. I use those for a long time at the range exclusively, and they're very good quality. And the thing I like about them, so the Magpul magazines, a standard Magpul mag holds 30 rounds. If some guns, a lot of times when you go to put that magazine filled up with 30 rounds in the gun, especially if your bolt is closed, it can be very hard to seat that magazine. So a lot of folks like me will load up either 29 or 28 rounds in that Magpul magazine to make sure it inserts properly. What Daniel Defense did is their magazines hold 32 or 33 rounds, not for you to load up 33, but for you can load up a full 30 and you still don't have problems seating that magazine in the gun. So that is pretty cool if you want to check them out, but you're going to need at least 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 or 100 magazines. Next up on the list, I have a sling, and I do think a sling is a fairly important necessity when you are buying an AR-15, especially if you're a newer shooter with not a ton of experience. A sling is like a holster for your rifle. Think of it that way. It keeps the rifle attached to you, so when you're not shooting, you can put the rifle down and give your arms and hand a break. But also, if you're using it for self-defense, no one can easily take your rifle because it's slung on your body. Like anything you add to the rifle, though, that does come with a bit of training to get used to it. You can't just slap a sling on because it's going to get in your way and you're going to mess things up. So you got to get used to, okay, how do I adjust this sling when I'm shooting? What do I do with magazine reloads? Do I just wrap it around my neck, or do I go fully slung in? There's so much to it. Again, this video, we don't have time. Lots of good videos out there already. I do recommend 2-point sling most of the time. So a 2-point sling means just attaches in 2 areas. 1-point sling attaches in 1 area. So for most guns in most scenarios, 2-point sling would be the way to go. And there's a lot of really good slings that you can get very, very affordable. A&R Design, for example, they make great holsters, but they also make great slings as well. And you can get them, what am I doing here? You can get those 30, 40, 50 bucks in that area for an A&R Design. Magpul, you can get those on Amazon. Those are $60-ish, somewhere in that area. I've had Edgar Sherman slings that are great. This sling here is a Blue Force gear that I've had for a very, very long time. And this has been a good sling as well. But there is a ton of good slings out there. Now, as I said, as we get to these last few things, they become a little bit less and less of a necessity. This one and the rest of them are really, really nice to have, but not 100% necessity. So what I'm going to show you is this band right here that's holding the sling against the rifle. It's a modern take on a Ranger band. People used to use plastic bands to sling their, to stage their sling, and they break in their pain. So this is from NeoMag. It's called the Sentry Strap, and there is a Velcro strap. It Velcros to the handguard, and then there's another strap that goes around the sling and is held in place by a magnet. And it keeps your sling nice and neat and staged out of the way. So if it's coming in and out of the range bag, or in and out of the safe, or a cruiser for you officers out there, and make sure it doesn't get snagged on anything, or a lot less likely to get snagged on anything. Now, when you want to deploy the sling, you just grab it and you pull it away from the rifle. Simple as that. And then you can go to work. I don't want to block my microphone here. The nice thing about it is as you pull it off, the magnet will attach back to the rifle so it doesn't get in the way. Now, the Sentry Straps, just like everything NeoMag makes, are made in the United States, which is dope. No matter which, there's like 6 different colors. No matter which color you go with, it's under $45-ish in that area, so not very expensive. Made in the States, 6 different colors. And most important, I work for NeoMag, so buy a couple and help me keep my job. The next one on the list is going to be a weapon light, and I was very hesitant to add a weapon light to the list because you can't just slap a light on your gun and all of a sudden think you're a night fighter. And I think most people underestimate the training and skills necessary to effectively use a weapon light without getting yourself shot. You don't just leave the light on and say, "Here I am, shoot me." and I've taken a lot of low light training classes. I used to work for Enforce, this light company here, and I was able to take a lot of training classes, and I quickly realized that I don't know what I'm doing. It's a different world at night, so you need some training. But a weapon light's great. Bad things happen at night, and you don't want to shoot what you can't see. Some of the higher end brands, we'll start with the higher end ones this time. Cloud Defensive, for example, is one. Surefire. Those are two of the, Arasaka is probably another one, but those are 2 or 3 of the higher end light brand companies that are putting out quality products. A lot of the stuff is made in the States. Metal lights, high lumens, high candela, so that the beam's going to be really good. Cloud, for example, has some of the best tape switches. They have some of the best cable management, some of the most durable lights. I love Cloud lights, but they are very, very expensive. What did I write down? North of $300 easily. Surefire, the same thing. So something a little bit more budget friendly. Enforce, for example, as again, I used to work for this company years ago. This is the WML, and they have a WMLX, a bigger light, and they're about to come out with a more traditional style rifle light as well that I've been helping them test. And $1.50-ish, somewhere in that area, a little bit more affordable. Those are plastic lights with some metal accessories, metal parts. Olight is probably the big one, the most popular one that you're going to be looking at if you are a new gun owner and you're looking at more affordable weapon lights. I just really don't like Olight. I'm sorry, just the way they go to market, like their guerrilla marketing. Like every time they come on a new product or a new sale, I get 8,000 posts about it on YouTube and Instagram, and it really annoys me, and I just don't love their products. They sell more than probably anyone else on this list. I'll give them credit for that. I'm just personally not a big fan. If you're looking for something that's good quality and affordable, I'm going to direct you to Streamlight. It'd be really hard to find one under $100. You can find one on sale. I have seen them for $99 on sale, but typically, what did I write down? $120 to $170 is where you're going to be seeing these. And Streamlight is an American-based company. They're in Pennsylvania, I believe. And they have a bunch of different rifle lights, bunch of different sizes and qualities and lumens and candela. They have decent tape switches, good lights. So if you are going to look for something more affordable, Streamlight would be my first choice. If you're looking for something higher end, Cloud would be my first choice. So next up on the list is night vision. Oh, get my helmet on there. And I think you're going to need a set of quads. Quads are those night vision that have 4 binoculars on here, and they only cost $40,000. So they're not very expensive, and I'm kidding. Don't roast me in the comments. You don't need night vision when you get started, even though it's a superpower and it's great. What I really want to talk about are these rail covers. These are also from NeoMag, and they're called the Rigs, Rail Integrated Grip System. So what they are is they're very sleek and sexy rail covers, so they look good. Aluminum rail covers, again, made in the United States. But I wanted to put them on the list because they also work as cable management. So if you are going to get a weapon light, you don't want the cable dangling all over the place. It's going to get snagged, it's going to get broken, it's going to pull out the light. I've seen it happen at training classes, and you don't want to do that. So inside this Rigs, you can run the wire on the inside, and that's how that wire stays nice and neat, nice and tight up against the rifle. A lot less likely that it's going to get snagged. The Rigs can also be used as a sling mounting point. You can get this Blue Force Gear sling has this little cord cable thing on there, but you can also get an adapter if you want to hook up your sling to the Rigs. You can do that also. Again, made in the States, aluminum, anodized finish, and affordable. We sell single slot, we sell double slots, we sell 1-pack, we sell 2-packs. It's going to be somewhere between like $25-ish and $50-ish, depending on how many you want, and the small one, the big one, and we're about to expand these as well. Right now we just have the 2 different sizes, but you didn't hear it from me, but there's a bunch more under the Rigs umbrella that will be coming out very soon. You didn't hear that from me though. So the last thing up on the list we're going to talk about is furniture. So we're talking about stocks and braces and grips to your AR-15. And this is absolutely, positively not a necessity. If you choose to upgrade your grip and your stock, it may feel better, maybe more comfortable. The fit and finish may be nice, but definitely not a necessity. A couple of brands that we're going to talk about. Magpul, great, big company, good quality. Affordable, they're great. BCM, I love. BCM makes great accessories, great furniture. B5 is probably my favorite, with Die Free Co. a very close second. As far as grips, now this is a B5 Systems grip. I love this grip. It has a big beaver tail. I love how it's a pretty neutral grip. It doesn't have a wide angle. It's more of a vertical grip. It's on my Geisley night vision gun here. Got myself a sexy maul for night vision and a folding stock and all that stuff, but the B5 is very, very good. BCM on this primary weapons system. I have a BCM grip, has a little locking storage compartment on the bottom. Again, that big beaver tail. Their stock is fantastic, very solid, easy to adjust. I have one of their foregrips on here that we'll talk about in a second also, but BCM is good. Magpul, once again, good texture, locking compartment, good beaver tail, very, very comfortable. They have several different types of stock. This is the CTR that you can kind of lock in place, and it gives it a pretty solid lockup. So those are the ones you can consider. And then the new dog on here is Difrico. Difrico is located in New Hampshire, and they have some foregrips, they have some regular grips, and it's a very, very neutral angle. It's not very sharp, and from the second, not a sharp angle that is, and from the second I grabbed it, it just feels really good and real natural to me. I love the angle of the grip. It has some of the best texture out of all 4 or 5 of them as well. The texture is very good, and it has a nice beaver tail as well. And I think when the guns have a good beaver tail, it's just more comfortable for my trigger. I don't know, just ergonomically, I don't know, it makes sense for me. And it's just very, very comfortable. I do have a discount code for Difrico, by the way. It is Tiberious. I think it saves you 10% or so. So the stocks we went over, there's a bunch of different types you can check out. I do want to also mention foregrips, these little grips here on the front of the gun. I like them a lot because it helps me really pull that rifle back into my shoulder. When you're shooting, you really want that rifle to be tucked into your shoulder as tight as possible. This particular green one on this Radian weapons rifle is from Kratos. It's a polymer, maybe 3D printed, whatever it is. Great grip texture. And not only can you use this to pull it back into your shoulder, you can also use it to press up into like a barricade or something if you're shooting over that as well. Now, I don't like the big foregrips. Like, I'll roll a picture up here on the screen. There's some companies like Magpul and Strike Industries that have big ones, and lots of people love those. I see them all the time. It's just not my jam. This one from BCM is good. A lot of people will cut these in half because it is a little on the big side, but it feels extremely good. Once again, you can easily use this to lean into a barricade. I don't shoot it like this. Like, look at me. Do not grab it like this. That's not how you shoot. You're going to be all over the place. It's for your hand to go in front of, and again, pull that rifle back into your shoulder and snug it up nice and tight. These are one of the million tips that I've learned from the training classes I've taken, and you need to do the same. Now, because I love you, I have one extra special tip that I just thought of. The BCG, bolt carrier group inside of your rifle. That is the heart of your rifle. That is probably the most important part of your rifle, and it's also one of the most common fail points on a rifle, especially if you're buying a budget-friendly AR-15. So, buying a good quality BCG, a full BCG is going to be well over $100. So you can get yourself a better BCG, and that should help with the reliability on the gun. But if you don't want to spend the money on an entire BCG, you can replace just the bolt. A high quality bolt is super important. The bolt is where it has the most pressure, and it's going to be the most common fail point on a BCG as well. So you can get just the bolt, very, very high quality. Make sure the material is really good, like 158 Carpenter steel, something really hard like that. Lots of companies sell really high quality bolts that are definitely well under $100. Okay, there's my list. I'm done talking. I hope you found it helpful. Again, if you did, I'd like to invite you to at least like and comment. And if you really think I did a good job and I deserve it, please subscribe to the channel. That stuff I need. I appreciate it. Now, if you would like me to go through anything else, like I'm thinking maybe we do concealed carry version of this, or pistol, or explaining different products, or anything else. If there's anything else that you want me to explain or you think would be helpful to other new gun owners, please drop it down in the comments and I will absolutely consider it. Thank you for watching. Be good, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!